Welcome, welcome, everybody. Here we are, smack dab in the middle of Mr. Michael's library for another story time with Mr. Michael. Wow, let's throw a party. I mean, this is how I party, so I guess that's exactly what I'm doing. Thank you all for joining. There's so very, very many things to learn about books that we're going to have to do this for a really long time to learn them all. But today we're going to get to learn something new, and we're going to get to learn it because today's book was a very, very special request. So I want to thank you, Zion, for watching Storytime with Mr. Michael, for being a part of this amazing journey we get to go on together, and most importantly, for recommending Frederick by Lionni. We're going to get to read this today, and let's find out why this book is so special. So, if everybody can see this big silver sticker on here, that is an award that this book won. It's called the Caldecott Award, and this award goes out to, every year they give it away to the book with the best illustrations in all the books that they made that year. Of all the books that were made this year, this one has the best illustrations, and we're going to get to read it. What's amazing is that we haven't read any Caldecott winners yet. They've been giving this award out since like the 1930s, so it's so very, very cool. Now, this book, or this award, was named after a very famous British illustrator named Randolph Caldecott. He was considered the greatest of his day, and now they use his name on this award to give it out to the greatest children's illustrator every year. Today, we're going to get to read Frederick by Lionni, and I think we're about to do it. Frederick by Lionni. Along the meadow, where the cows grazed and the horses ran, there was an old stone wall. In that wall, not far from the barn and the granary, a chatty family of field mice had their home. But the farmers had moved away. The barn was abandoned, and the granary stood empty. And since winter was not that far off, the little mice began to gather corn and nuts and wheat and straw. They all worked day and night, all except Frederick. Frederick, why don't you work? They asked. I do work, said Frederick. I gather sun rays for the cold, dark winter days. And when they saw Frederick sitting there, staring at the meadow, they said, And now, Frederick. I gather colors, answered Frederick simply, for winter is gray. And once, Frederick seemed half asleep. Are you dreaming, Frederick? They asked reproachfully, but Frederick said, Oh no, I am gathering words, for the winter days are long and many, and we'll run out of things to say. The winter days came, and when the first snow fell, the 5 little field mice took to their hideout in the stones. In the beginning, there was lots to eat, and the mice told stories of foolish foxes and silly cats. They were a happy family. But little by little, they'd nibbled up most of the nuts and berries. The straw was gone, and the corn was only a memory. It was cold in the wall, and no one felt like chatting. Then they remembered what Frederick had to say about sun rays and colors and words. "What about your supplies, Frederick?" they asked. "Close your eyes," said Frederick as he climbed on a big stone. "Now, I send you the rays of the sun. Do you feel how their golden glow?" And as Frederick spoke of the sun, the 4 little mice began to feel warmer. Was it Frederick's voice? Was it magic? "And how about the colors, Frederick?" they asked anxiously. "Close your eyes again," Frederick said. And when he told them of the blue periwinkles, the red poppies and the yellow wheat, and the green leaves of the berry bush, they saw the colors as clearly as if they had been painted in their minds. "And the words, Frederick?" Frederick cleared his throat, waited a moment, and then, as if from a stage, he said, "Who scatters snowflakes? Who melts the ice? Who spoils the weather? Who makes it nice? Who grows the 4-leaf clovers in June? Who dims the daylight? Who lights the moon? 4 little field mice who live in the sky. 4 little field mice, like you and I. One is the spring mouse who turns on the showers. Then comes the summer who paints in the flowers. The fall mouse is next with walnuts and wheat. And winter is last with cold little feet. Aren't we lucky the seasons are 4? Think of a year with 1 less or 1 more." When Frederick had finished, they all applauded. "But Frederick," they said, "you are a poet." Frederick blushed, took a bow, and said shyly, "I know it." The end. Well, this book might be one of my favorites too. So, those illustrations deserved an award, didn't they? But the book was about something more than just the pictures. To me, that book was about how beautiful and important stories are. Even when it's cold, even when it's dark, even when you're not happy, stories can make you feel happy. I think you guys know I like stories. I think you know I like it when people write them down and like put them in between 2 harder pieces of cardboard or something and put it on paper and maybe even draw pictures with it. I like that. Oh man, they should have a word for that. What word would you use to describe a story that's written down on pages, that's put in between 2 books? That's right. I guess it's official. I must love books. Well, I know I loved this book. And that means I must love you too, Zion, because you are the reason I got to read this book. Zion, thank you, thank you, thank you. This was absolutely wonderful. I'm so very grateful. I bet everybody else out there watching Storytime with Mr. Michael is grateful too, because either they didn't know the book and now they do and they get to love it, or they've been sitting there going, Mr. Michael, when are we finally getting to Frederick by Lionni? Well, thank you, Zion. It's all because of you. I am so very happy we did this today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of Storytime. This is for everybody, not just for Zion. Thank you, and 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 Lionni, who wrote this amazing book. And thank everybody for being a part of this. I cannot wait to find out what your favorite book is. Maybe you'll tell me in the comments below and I can read it next time on Storytime with Mr. Michael. Okay, everyone, thank you. Keep reading and stay curious. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.